Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles. A great millstone, and peace to you, sincere brothers out there, the true house of David. And I just wanted to go into the harvest real quick, because the harvest is what you've been waiting on. It's kind of like, when you sow seeds in the field, as the Lord told you. So when we do this work, we're sowing seeds. And how much we do this work is the more seeds that we sow. For let's just say the Lord told us to put our all into it and to be hot, we'll sow a lot of seeds. So that when the harvest comes, we can actually reap in the harvest. And reaping in the harvest is basically getting those righteous fruits that you planted from those seeds that you planted. Now, reaping those righteous fruits from those seeds that you planted. Now, that's why you would want to go all out and reap and plant as many seeds as possible, righteous, sincere seeds, so you can reap that in the harvest. And now is the harvest. The Lord talks about they shall be fruitful and increase. And I know Jake is carnal. Jake always thinks that it's talking about something physical when it says fruitful and increase. But it's actually going into the increasing of the spirit off of the fruits of your labor. See, you've been laboring, sowing those righteous seeds. So the fruit of your labor, you will see that in the harvest. Now, part of that, what you see in the harvest, is men having the spirit to do the work more, men having the spirit on them to come up with lessons, having the spirit on them a little tougher and a little harder, because what did they do? They sowed, they reaped, and they sowed what they reaped. I mean, they reap what they have sowed, and they sowed what? Spiritual things, and they reaping on what? Spiritual things, you see? And you see that in the harvest. Now, Proverbs 20:4 says, the sluggard will not plow by the reason of the cold, therefore shall he beg in the harvest. Now, I wanted to look up that word harvest real quick. Now, that's why if you don't really plow, you're not going to have nothing in the harvest, and then you're going to be looking weak, and then you're going to be weak in the spirit. You're going to be in an I don't know spirit. You're not really going to have the faith. You're not really going to want to do the work. You're going to be in a dead spirit. You're going to be in a low vibration, a low energy spirit. Because what? You've been sluggard. Now that word harvest real quick.
Strong's H.
The word harvest. Salakia. So I'm going to that word harvest real fast, because this is what you're going to reap what you have sowed.
Strong's H 7105. Katsir.
Right. So the word for harvest is harvesting, the process of harvesting. Crop, what is harvest or reaped, the time of the harvest. Bro, and the branches, you see the branches grow in your crops. You see, this is the time of the harvest. The harvest time, you see. So when you go to the scriptures, the Lord talks about the harvest. Jeremiah 50:16 says, cut off the sword from Babylon, and him that handles the sickle in the time of the harvest. The harvest is the end of the world. Jeremiah 51 and 33. For the Lord of hosts and the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon, is like a threshing floor, and the time is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, the time of her harvest is come. So the harvest is the end of the world, pursuant to what the Lord said when you go to the scriptures. So that's when you will see your crop. That's when you will see your fruit of your labor. That's when you will see what type of spirit that you're really in at your harvest. So if you're in a lukewarm, low spirit, that means you are reaping of what you've sown. You see? And you only get what you put in. So you got to understand that. Matthew 13:33. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world. And the reapers are the angels. You see? So that's why you've been sowing these seeds, so you can reap in the harvest. You see? And now is the harvest. So you're either going to have an increase in the spirit, the increase in your fruit, which also goes back to your spirit, the fruits of your labor, because Jake thinks everything's carnal, which in a sense it does mean men, but it's more so of the spirit, because the Lord said he picked 1 out of 1,000. So it's not about how many fucking bodies we could gather around each other, how many dead bodies we could crowd around each other and shit. He's talking about reaping in the spirit. The scriptures say they shall be fruitful and increase. The remnant in Jeremiah chapter 23, the remnant will be fruitful and increase. Increasing in what? In their spirit and in labor and their fruit. Mark chapter 4 verse 29, it says, but when the fruit is brought forth, immediately he putteth it in a sickle, because the harvest is come. So the harvest is the end of the world. It says, going back, Matthew 13:39, it says, the enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. So the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. What do? They sent out for judgment. And the Lord said, don't come against any man that haveth the mark. You see? Matthew 9:37. Then the Lord said unto the disciples, the harvest is truly, he says, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the labor is few. So now we're in a time of the harvest, where everything is coming to pass. You see the prophecies coming to pass, the things being stirred up. So it's plenty of things to go through, plenty of things. Joel 3:13, it says, put ye in the sickle, is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fast overflow, for their wickedness is great. And we're in the time of the harvest. This is the time of the harvest. You see? So the harvest is at the end of the world, and this is where you receive, you will see the fruits of your labor in the harvest. Meaning what type of spirit you're going to be in this time of the harvest. In this time of the harvest, if you're not really hot for the Lord, that means that you don't really have fruit for your labor. Psalms 104:13, he watereth the hills from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruits of thy works. Proverbs 1:31, therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. That's right. So your own fruit and your own labor, if you've been casting bad fruit, you're going to eat of that in this harvest, either it be rotten or righteous fruit. Proverbs 10:16, the labor of the righteous tendeth to life, but the fruit of the wicked to sin. That's right. So if you've been righteously doing this work, you're going to be tend to life, but the fruit of the wicked, you're going to be destroyed. You see? Proverbs 27:18, whoso keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof, so he that waiteth on his master shall be honored. That's right, man. So that's why we do this work righteously, so we can receive the fruit. Proverbs 13:2, a man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the transgressors shall eat violence. That's right. So we have to sow righteous seeds, bringing good forth good fruit. And being that this is the harvest, we're going to see the fruits of our labors. Now the scriptures say, in your belly shall flow rivers of living water. This is Proverbs 18:20. A man's belly shall be satisfied with fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. So you see some brothers filled with the increase of their labor, which you can only get an increase if you've been righteously sowing seeds, being hot for the Lord. You see? Jeremiah 17:10, the Lord searcheth the heart. Check this out. And I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruits of his doings. That's why you want to go all out for the Lord. Because if you haven't been going all out for the Lord will destroy your ass, and you're going to receive the fruits for your doing. So if you was halfway lukewarm in the Lord, you're going to be destroyed. You have to be all the way in. You see? Pretty much, this is, like I said, the harvest is the end of the world, like the Lord said, and this is where you're going to see the fruits of your labor. This right here. Let me see. I can get one more. This lesson could go on and on, but I'm going to get one more. Matthew 7:17. It says, even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. And we see man's evil fruit because they're not able to do the work. They're exhausted. They're lukewarm. They barely want to do it. You see? And bare minimum just ain't going to cut it with the Lord, man. Matthew 7:18. A tree that cannot bring forth evil fruit. It says a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Check this out. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. That's right, man. And a lot of men will be cast into the fire because of the corrupt, lukewarm fruit that's out there. The Lord is only dealing with those wholeheartedly in there, putting everything in there, putting this truth above everything in your life. Matthew 12:33. Either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and his fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit, and the tree is known by its fruit. And it's a good thing to be hated, man, because we're hated. We're hated in this world, and we're hated by men in this truth. And it's a good thing to be hated. The scriptures say, blessed when man shall remove you from his company. So it's a beautiful thing, and call you evil. And that's how we know we're fulfilling prophecy, you see. But it's all about, if you've been bearing that good fruit the whole time, you'll see the reaping, the harvest, and the spirit in the increase. And if you haven't been reaping righteously but wickedly this whole time, you ain't going to see nothing but nervousness, lukewarmness, unsurety, fearfulness, and an unbelieving spirit that's out there. But brothers that's righteous, you're going to see a fervent, hot, loving, confident spirit from those that actually believe. But as for you demons out there, everything is being revealed and you can't hide it. See, we're not in that pity me, oh, this is what happened to me in the world spirit. Oh, have pity on me, I'm going through this. We're all going through shit. And that's what makes the soldier. You got to go through the fire. A lot of you have felt that fire, and you slowed down on the plow, and a lot of you really didn't have it anyway. But anyway, man, I just wanted to bring that out. The harvest is the end of the world, where you should see the fruits of a man's labors, and their countenance will explain everything that they're about. And with that, man, to be on to the next one. Hey, Shalom.